This tutorial will show you how to enter control points into an existing 12D project. Before we enter any existing control points into our 12D project, we need to set the CAD control bar into the correct string names and models before we start. I'm simply going to give the control points that I enter in a string name of station or STN, and I'm going to place them in a model called control. I'm going to keep the color red. I definitely don't want a default height in here because, as you can see by my Excel spreadsheet of my control coordinates, the heights are all different. One last thing I will do is give it a style. And I'm going to select on more information and go into the miscellaneous. And if I scroll down, I'm going to choose the symbol station. So when I enter these control coordinates, they will have the station symbol attached to the vertex. Now once you have the CAD control bar set, we're simply going to enter the control coordinates by using the left-hand toolbars. I'm simply going to go up to CAD points, hold the left mouse button down, and step out one to create point. Release the left mouse button now. If you look now at the very bottom left of the screen, 12D is prompting you to pick a position. You can simply left click anywhere on the screen, but since we're going to give these control points a defined coordinate, I'm going to type them in manually. As you can see, our first control coordinate, which is a PM, has the easting here of 644965. So what we do, instead of picking a position, we just simply start typing in the easting. This simply prompts the Enter XYZ panel. So we could keep typing here and type the coordinate, but this will take a while. So I'm simply just going to copy and paste each of the values into this box. Just remember that whenever you enter coordinates using the Enter X, Y, and Z box, it is space delimited. So it has to have a space separating the X, Y, and Z values. And now I copy and paste the north in. And I do the same for the height or the RL. Once you have entered the easting, northern, and height, you simply just press enter on your keyboard. Now, if I zoom in, you can see it has entered the control point with the correct symbol that we've entered in the CAD control bar. This doesn't show a vertex in the middle of the symbol, but if I use the toggle button, the tick cross in my plan view, and turn on the vertices, you can see there is a vertex in the middle of the symbol, which is where those coordinates are entered. So now I'm going to add our second control point in, and I'm going to use the same method. 12D is still in the Enter XYZ panel prompt. As you can see down the very bottom left, it's asking me to pick a position. Again, I don't have a position, but I know the easting of the next point starts with a 6. So I'm just going to type in 6. Again, I will copy and paste the easting, northern, and height values into this panel. Remember to have a space separating them. And once I'm happy, I press enter on the keyboard again. Now if I do a zoom all, you can see, and I'll turn my vertex off, And now we can see we've got our 2 control points, one on the left and one up here on the right. Now what we need to do is we need to attach the correct point IDs. As you can see in column A of our Excel spreadsheet, we need to attach these point IDs to these 2 control points. Well, the easiest method to use this is using the toolbars on the right and go into CAD Vertex, hold the left mouse button down and step out to the very end till you get to point ID. Release the left button now. And now we simply follow the instructions at the bottom left-hand corner of our 12D screen and left-click on the control point. If you have a look at the X value before we accept it, this gives us a hint to what ID we have to enter in. And from the sheet, it was this one here. So it's SSM. So I'm simply going to copy and paste this in. Again, once you enter it in, simply press enter on your keyboard. And now you should have the point ID attached to this control point we've just entered. Do the same for the next control point. You should still be in the command. So just left click on the symbol, accept, and copy and paste the point ID in. Remember to press enter, and there we go. So now we have our control points with the correct point IDs, which we can use when we import our survey data and swing it onto the correct azimuth using the control points entered